My guest tonight is a Grammy Award-winning artist who sold over 30 million records. His songs inspired the new Broadway musical, The Heart of Rock and Roll. Please welcome Huey Lewis. Wonderful. I know that helps with the hearing. How do I sound, Huey?
Yeah, that helps my hearing.
Wonderful.
Thanks to Starkey Hearing Institute for that.
The Starkey Hearing Institute?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
You know what they did?
Exactly.
They brought together Huey Lewis and the fake news, finally together. Together at once. It is an honor to have you here in New York. Thank you very much,
I hate to tell you, but my news is kind of fake, too. So there.
What? Don't break my heart, Huey. You're here. You got a big Broadway musical opening tomorrow. The previews start tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm curious, 30 million records sold, 12 top 10 hits. How do you start to narrow down what makes it into the heart of rock and roll?
Which songs make it into the?
Yeah.
Well, it came about because a producer called Tyler Mitchell, who's my neighbor's friend, was a big fan of ours, and I was over at my neighbor's house for my birthday, and he was there, and my neighbor's a big musical theater buff, and said, suggested to his son-in-law, Tyler, you should do a musical. We started talking about Mamma Mia and how much we love Mamma Mia, and he says, you should do a musical with Huey's music. And so he said, what do you think? I said, sure, give it a try, and he went off with his pal John Abrams and came back with a very nice idea.
Yeah. You're saying that's all it takes? If I ran into you like a decade ago and said, your music is great, it's known worldwide, people love it, you should do more of it publicly, like I could be working with you right now?
Yeah. Well,
shit!
Actually, it took 9 years. So and what they did, what Tyler and John did, was they printed out all of our lyrics, right? And put them up on the wall, and then just lived with them. And I guess there was some jogging involved and listening to lyrics, and this story emerged that's really pretty compelling.
I was going to say, now, in creating a musical, you have to create a narrative, but these songs are written singularly. Do you? How does that look to take a step back? Do you feel like there was a sense of narrative to those songs to begin with, or is it sort of a reinvention of what was there?
Yeah, it's a reimagining the tunes, really. And, they worked in a certain way anyway, but we had to tweak them a little bit in order to push the story forward, because the songs have to push the story forward, but by the same token, you don't want to lose the integrity of the song, so that's the little balancing act,
So now the musical's set in the 80s, correct?
It's just set in the 80s, and we had a lot of fun with that.
I'm sure. It's so interesting because I will admit the first cassette I ever bought, A Small World by Huey Lewis and the News.
Wow.
Yes. And I used to dance around the house to sports with my family. You've been
That's a little too much information.
Sorry, okay, yeah. My child was conceived. Do you want more of this? Do you want more? The heart of rock and roll is still beating. I gotta tell you, it works, Huey. It works.
Well,
let me tell you. Thump, 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 thump. It really sets the mood. What I will say is, as a fan, it's fun to go back and look at some of the videos from the 80s because you look at music videos in the 80s, and you were sort of on the forefront of a new art form. The music videos on MTV, and when I'm reapproaching watching some of them, what's so interesting is I feel like your music videos, unlike many of the ones at the time, had a real comedic sensibility. That you're not only presenting the songs, you found a way to inject humor into it, and so you're sort of at this new art form. You're pushing this forward, this art and this music beyond, but you're also finding your way sort of as a comedic character and a comedian.
Right.
Did you feel yourself doing that at the time?
I think I should get some kind of an award for that.
Exactly. Don't you? God, what do you like? Do you like Fiji water? Shit! Get Huey Lewis an award, for God's sakes!
No, I mean, honestly, MTV, the videos were a necessary evil. We started off as an audio band, and you write this song which tells this story, and now, oh my gosh, you got to make a video. So we decided we were going to do them ourselves. We had a very Hollywood producer. The record company got him to do our very first video. This is "Do You Believe in Love," where we're all in bed and we're pointing at the girl. There's 6 of us in bed pointing at the girl singing, and we shot this video all day, and then. And I remember we went to see the rough cut, and oh my gosh, there was the record company was there, and the video company and all of it. There were probably 20 people, and he announced that this was going to see the run through. It hadn't been colorized yet. It's going to be amazing when it's colorized. But here we go, and he plays this video, and turns the lights off, and my heart sank. I thought it was the worst thing I'd ever seen. Just horrible. And when it ended, everybody stood up and gave us a standing ovation. So I remember thinking to myself, clearly there's nobody knows anything about this. We're writing our own songs and we're producing our own music. We should be doing our own videos. So, and that's what we did. And we threw the song in the dumper, as it were. Don't retell the story. Just goof around and have fun and be funny.
I think indeed.
You said that a little better than I did, actually.
I want to give you credit. I would give you an award. I feel like you perfected the comical take over the fancy sunglasses.
Right. That was a big one for me.
It was a big one, right? Did you practice that in the mirror?
Varney sunglasses, by the way, at the time.
Are you trying to get a sponsorship here? Is this what's... Huey, always moving it.
Starkey, Varney.
Okay, Fiji water. We get it, Huey. Huey, it's not Huey Lewis and the Plugs, all right? There was a wonderful documentary that came out recently that looked at the behind the scenes of We Are the World.
Yep.
And you talk about your experiences in that amazing, wild night of pop music. I think what was so fascinating about watching that documentary is... One, I was wondering, on a night like that, are people aware of the cameras there? There's no cell phones. People don't have assistants in that room. And then I was shocked by how sober everybody was, except for Al Jarreau. Al Jarreau. But it's surprising. I don't know if you could do something like that day. Were people as sober as...
Well, I mean... there was check your ego at the door. Well, clearly nobody was going to pull an ego trip on this group, right?
Yeah.
And so I think we all were a little nervous, except Stevie Wonder, who was not nervous.
No, not at all.
And I don't think Stevie's ever nervous, to be honest.
And so was there... Again, something like that had never happened before. I think with the presence of cameras there, did that add a tension in that room?
Well, actually, there weren't that many cameras, and we were so focused on I think it was pretty transparent, actually. I mean, what was interesting is that I think we all realized, so I certainly did, that this was going to be the career event of my life. I was barely 30 years old, and I'm thinking, what could be more amazing than this? And I think a lot of us kind of felt that way. There's still a kind of a bond between all the people who were on that night, and it was just an amazing evening, obviously.
There's a moment in there where Stevie Wonder throws out the idea of singing in Swahili, which seemed to really split the room.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings, I believe, walked out.
Yeah, and actually what happened, and I don't think it's in the documentary, but Waylon walked out, but and it clearly wasn't going to happen. And as we were kind of getting involved there, and it was late, it was like 3, 4 in the morning at this point, and Ray Charles is in the front row, and he goes, "Ring the bell, Quincy, ring the bell."
It's time to move on.
Like, let's go, yeah.
Somebody brought a fact up. They were like, 1984, Sports was #1 album. It was on the charts for quite some time. In fact, that year there were only 4 other albums that were the #1 album that year. That was...
Thanks for pointing that out. That's good.
I want to humble you here a little bit, okay? See if you can turn this into a way to get some sponsorship, okay? Thriller was a #1 album, Footloose, Born in the USA, and Purple Rain. That's a good year for music.
It was a good year.
If you had to marry or kill... Footloose, Born in the USA, Purple Rain, or Thriller, what do you do?
If you have to do what now?
No, okay.
What do I have to do?
Think back to the Heart of Rock and Roll and what happened back in my bedroom back in the day. You have to one of these albums. So make love to the album.
One of those records.
The hypothetical, the metaphorical idea of the album.
Okay.
Make love to the album. You have to marry the album, like engage in matrimony with the album.
Okay.
A real commitment with the album.
Okay.
Or kill. Be done with one of the albums.
Okay.
Out of those 4 albums, you have to make love to one, you have to commit yourself, marry to the other, and you have to execute one.
Wow. Wow, that's tough.
Tough.
I'm gonna execute Footloose because Kenny Loggins won't mind. He's a good guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Everybody cut. That's an easy one.
I'm gonna make love to Born in the USA, and I'm gonna fall in love with Thriller.
Yeah, you're gonna fall in love with Thriller.
I actually.
Yeah.
I actually like. I like Off the Walls, Michael's album, a little better actually than Thriller even.
Really?
If I don't mind me saying that.
You like a little bit of that disco dance vibe to it all.
Oh yeah, Rock with You. Ooh, I could listen to that over and over.
I think Dangerous is an underrated album.
See? There you go.
Look at this. We could do this forever. I could pitch you on a musical like, hey, why don't you use your own songs? It's a great hit. We could make some money off this, Huey. Huey, before I let you go, it's so interesting. You are a beloved musician. It's so funny. I was talking to you a little bit backstage when I told the folks, or when we were told that Huey Lewis was coming on The Daily Show. People of all ages who work on this show, they love you, and they're so excited that you're here. You bring such goodwill to people. And I heard the story that in Back to the Future, Robert Zemeckis told you that Marty McFly, his favorite, the fictional character Marty McFly, his favorite band would be Huey Lewis and the News.
Right.
Then in American Psycho, Patrick Bateman's favorite band to kill Jared Leto to is Huey Lewis and the News. And so in a fictional universe, you appeal both to a person who is a time traveler and a person who is a psycho killer. You are that universal.
And you know what? That is fresh material for a musical.
Previews for the Heart of Rock and Roll begin tomorrow, March 29th, at the James Earl Jones Theater. Huey Lewis.